Where do we get the Moabites from? In the book of Genesis chapter 11, we're introduced to a character named Abraham, right? And Lot, right? Abraham has a nephew from his brother Haran. His name is Lot. And when Abraham leaves the Ur of the Chaldeans, or God calls him from Babylon, basically, to Israel, to the land of promise, right? Call them Hebrews. He crossed over. He brings with him Lot. And Abraham really loved Lot. He really cared for him. But then when we see Lot again, he goes to Sodom. He goes to Sodom and Gomorrah. He goes to the Jordan Valley. You can see it was a beautiful place. The reason why they parted ways was because the shepherds of Lot and the cattle of the shepherds of Abraham got into a fight because there was, they were trying to graze in the same area, and they finally parted ways. It's, look, you can't shepherd, your shepherds can't shepherd where my shepherds are. We're going to have to part ways. And they separated ways. And Abraham was such a kind man, he let Lot choose first. So tell me where you want to go. And Lot looked across, and you could imagine, he looked down at that Jordan Valley. Kind of an interesting thing, because where was Lot living at the moment? It was in Sodom. And after the destruction of those cities, remember there were 4 cities, right? Sodom, Gomorrah, Admah, Zeboim, 4 cities. Everybody remembers the 2, but there were 4 that the Lord destroyed in that Jordan Valley. What did the daughters of Lot said when they saw the destruction? They said, it is the end of the world. They thought this was the end of the world. And so they went into the cave. They got, spared from the whole problem. And then they said, there are no men to marry. Who are we going to marry? And they concocted a plan. They got their father drunk, and they had sexual intercourse with their father, both daughters, and they conceived. And the older one gave birth to a son called Moab. And this is where we got the Moabites from.